I'm live. Welcome back. I just one quick change. It doesn't seem to matter today. Anywho, welcome back to my channel. I'm Greg Top, and I have just finished watching the latest installment from my perspective of Doctor Who, season 13, Doctor Who Flux. This was chapter 4, Village of the Angels. When we last left off, it was interesting because the Doctor's TARDIS had been taken over by a weeping angel. They pop up in 1967 and immediately separate. The Doctor goes after something that made the sonic screwdriver hot, and Yaz and Dan go off to help look for a 10-year-old girl. How they got out of the TARDIS or got away from the angel, you ask? Well, if you didn't ask, I'm telling you anyway. They got away from the angel by the Doctor taking two lines, mixing them together along with herself. She said it was very dangerous, but the only plan, and it worked. So, good for her. Good flow. I was enjoying it from the perspective that I was in the story, enjoying the moment, wondering how and why all of this was happening. I thought this flux had taken place simultaneously throughout time as the other three episodes had described. So it was kind of weird to me when the flux, at least at first from the episode, didn't seem to affect the area that they were in. The town's name, Medderton. So the missing girl was said to be responsible and not tend to go off on her own. And they opened with a scene of Claire, who had been seen in episode 1, was hooked up to a lie detector or brain scanner, or a crude form for 1967, in order to have a doctor who had a neat name that I can't remember, human doctor, that is, scan her brain waves, try to do a baseline. And so, again, it must have been a lie detector because tried to do a baseline, and knowing that Claire was from the future, on the simple questions, the needles jumped. And the doctor's name is evidently a secret. I'll have to put on the secret solvers. So there we go. I really don't see him listed on IMDB, as that's what I'm looking at while I'm speaking. So that wasn't incredibly helpful. And such is life. One more last chance. Kevin McNally is the actor's name, but they don't seem to list the character he played. Professor Jericho, Eustace Jericho. Eustace isn't listed. That one came from memory. And I'm back. And I'm blurry. And I'm not blurry. And I'm blurry. Hey! All right. Back to the episode. I was in the moment. I was definitely enjoying this one. And I didn't know what was up with the angels. I didn't know what was up with Claire. But she basically pops up, gives a prediction. And the prediction of this is happening again, but for the final time. And that seems to be the prediction of the Doctor coming. Going through these scenes, the angels are apparent to Claire. She's drawn a picture of one. We obviously saw an angel at the end of the episode, the beginning of this episode, so we know that that's what the episode will be about. And now that that is all happen. We're back to the point of where Dan and Yaz are. They all came out of the police box together, the TARDIS. So everybody assumed from 1967 that they were the police, and that as they're looking for information about the 10-year-old, and then they split off to go to her favorite field. Then there is a scene between a priest and a woman, and it turns out that the priest says to the woman that, I know you've sent these notes to everybody in town, and the notes say get out. And the woman tries to explain that yes, of course she did, and if you'd count the number of headstones then you would understand, and you would do as I say. So there's one extra headstone, and it's not a headstone, it's an angel. I'm back to the field with Dan and Yaz after the priest gets touched by the angel and knocked back back in time. I don't know if that one's specific. Dan and Yaz see nothing in the field, and they walk further. Dan says, hey, wait, is that there again? Too late to say, long story short, but I guess it's not. There's a weeping angel, and there's that back to 1901. Everybody's gone. They find the 10-year-old. Intriguing stuff. I honestly enjoyed it. I don't mean to make light of it. And they start popping back and forth between 1910 and 1967. And the doctor is now trapped in the house of the professor along with Claire. So it's the three of them, the professor, the doctor, and Claire. And they are hearing sounds. They look outside, many angels. All the angels are coming in. Doctor retreats to the basement after setting something up with Claire and the professor. They start asking what's going on, and specifically focusing on Claire. Claire says that she's becoming an angel, and the doctor goes inside her mind. Going inside her mind, they talk there. This angel claims that it's a rogue angel. All the other angels are hired by division and coming for her, and that she was just hiding inside of the human's mind. That was her sanctuary. And it seems believable. A doctor seems to believe it, hears about division, wants to know what's going on with division, wants her answers, wants her memory back. Angel says that she knows everything, and that if you protect me, I will tell you everything. And the doctor says, leave the human first. The angel says, stop the other angels first. So it's kind of a stalemate, and the doctor finds out the reason the doctor goes ahead with the plan is because she believes that the angel really does have all this information on division. Interesting stuff, tough stuff for the doctor to swallow, but good entertainment. She pops out of Claire's mind, and the angels have since broken down the door, and the professor is doing what he can to not blink and keep the angels at bay. And he said, I wish we would have gone to a place, with more exits, as he believes only the one back up the stairs where the angels are occupying is the way to go. Doctor points to a schematic and says, you think you know more about your own house. It looks like a person before you did something illicit, and they have a tunnel that leads out to somewhere, or some cove, or lover's lane, or all right, maybe they didn't say that, but that's where they've gone. Or not, that's where they've gone, that's where they're going to escape through. Doctor takes a hammer, breaks through the boards. The three of them go. You realize that there are angels in the walls. They get most of the way through. The professor is knocked back in time. And then the doctor tries to slip around and run, and realizes she's not being chased. And then Claire, speaking for the angel, says, you finally realized it. And the doctor realizes that she's not being attacked. I said this slightly out of order. First, the doctor realizes she's not being attacked, comes out, and then there's Claire with the rest of the angels on top of the rocks. And The doctor says, leave my friends, who are staring through a portal from 1901, where it is daylight, into 1965, where the doctor and Claire are. The professor got zapped back to 1901. So evidently the same angel touched them all to get them there, or they were all somehow honed to all go to the same spot. In angel lore, this wasn't necessarily the case, but I'm going with it. The angel who was rogue inside of Claire's mind traded the doctor instead of herself, because they say through Claire that the only one wanted more by division than the angel is the doctor herself. So everything's wonky. The 10-year-old is also the old woman who had warned the priest and everybody else to get out of the town. So the little girl knows that she's taking the long way there, back there. And I should have said that a little earlier, but it's supposed to be a quick recap, and it's not so quick today. And after the doctor understands the plan and it dawns on her, and it really feels emotional, they turn the doctor to stone, and the doctor becomes a weeping angel. So what I didn't do was leave the part that they stepped away to. And what I'll say is they stepped away from when Dan and Yaz were touched by the angel in 1965, or excuse me, 1967, and popped back to 1910. That's 1901. Wow. Get it right, Greg. And pop back to further into the past, and they cut to Belle. Belle has taken her ship. She's gone to the only planet that's seemingly left in the quadrant. Meets with a person who has a name that I can't remember, that I could look up, but not as important. They go to a gathering area, and there's actually, in my guesstimation, it looks like at least 100 people. The person says that this woman keeps showing up, providing salvation, and everybody wants to go. He's missed the last transport. He doesn't want to miss this one, and I believe he says fourth time lucky. The woman appears, and it turns out to be one of the Ravages, and she's with the passenger, and everybody else doesn't know what the passenger is. We were told in a previous episode that the passenger is a prison. Belle recognizes the passenger, and she knows it's a prison. So rather than this place being salvation, it's a hunting ground. So the fact that that's happening, everybody there except for the two of them gets sucked in to the passenger, and the person who told her about the passenger was upset with her and said to leave her alone. She leaves a message and continues on because she hasn't located her life partner. So now that the doctor has been tragically turned into an angel and the credits starts rolling about halfway through the credits, very MCU style, they go back to the planet, and now Vinder, who is Belle's life partner, shows up, finds only one person on the planet. It happens to be the person that Belle saved. Quick interaction. He says, tell her thank you. She's gone. The type of ship she was in. And but she did leave something here, and it's a message. And the message plays, and it's a very nice message until she gets to the part with the coordinates and says, no, wait, don't. And there are no coordinates that are left. And Vinder says, I love you, and I'm coming to find you. And then back to the credits. And here we are. I'd love some interaction from the audience. It's a really light day, but everybody would love some interaction from the audience. Who am I kidding? I enjoyed the episode. I just still feel like now I'm 4 out of 6 of the way through. They've left on another cliffhanger. They've introduced more characters. They didn't go back again to some of the characters that were introduced in the first episode, and it wasn't just cut up. I enjoyed it for what it was. It turns out that the town had been taken out of space and out of time. Quantum lock, I believe, is what they called it, and it seemed that it was shrinking. But this is, I guess, why the flux might not have affected the town or that area, because outside of the lock, looked like the universe was still the universe, but you literally got to the edge of town and you saw stars and into the infinite. I don't know, and into space is what you were looking out on. Interesting, you know. Enjoyable, absolutely. I might have actually thought as a standalone episode that this was the best of the four so far. The character reactions, the fear of the angels, the plot in general. But as knowing that the flux has destroyed so much and still not quite knowing, other than time battling space, I got no more on that other than the fact that these Ravagers were still literally taking prisoners of the last remaining remnants of life, or sentient life, that was left in the galaxy, or maybe I should say the universe. So, thoughts, anyone, before we get going today? No, okay, a quiet one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're all are healthy. I have 2 more to go. I know these are later than most other people are posting their reaction videos. I'm assuming the doctor's going to make it out of this. I don't know how, but as the show's run for almost 60 years, you know, there might be a solution ahead. And never fear. Thank you for watching. If you do this in the future, this is Present Greg by my standards, past Greg to you, saying be healthy, because without your health, there's not much to things. And have a wonderful day or night, or try to have as an enjoyable time as you can going forward. Life is not a dress rehearsal, and we'll catch you on the next stream. Take care.